welcome back. Now today I'm going to be talking about the proper way to get your blades mounted onto your figure skate boots. Some boots come with the blades already mounted. If they're more entry-level skate, you're not going to have to worry about this. But if you have gotten a pair of boots and blades separately, then you're going to want to have them mounted together. Most pro shops will do this, but you want to make sure that you are going to a shop that will do a temporary mount and a permanent mount. A temporary mount allows you to have the blade set correctly for the way you stand on your feet. Everybody stands with their weight a little bit differently. People also have issues where their feet roll in or roll out, and you want your blade mounting to actually accommodate the way you stand. So I have had for years a small pronation issue on one of my feet, and I didn't know it. And so my blades were mounted incorrectly for almost my entire skating career, and I had been compensating, which made it more difficult to learn certain elements. Now that I know I have that pronation issue, I've been able to have my new pair of Harlicks that I got a year ago. I got that blade mounted correctly, and it's just made something so much easier. It's made a world of difference. So it really is important to have a temporary mount and a permanent mount. If you look at the bottom of a pair of figure skate blades, you'll notice two different kinds of holes. Some are round and some are slotted. Those slotted holes are what we use for a temporary mount. So we put the screws just in those 4 slotted holes, and that allows us to move the blade back and forth while still being attached to the boot. So you can mount the blade, go out, test it out, move the blade around a little bit until the blade feels like you have control over it and it's not taking you one way or another way. Once you have this temporary mount process done and you've gotten proper alignment under your skates, you can fill in some of the round holes. So flip your skate over and look at the bottom and check out those holes. You will see those round holes and those slotted holes. So if you've been following along with my videos this summer, you've seen that I have done quite a bit of work on a pair of really old Harlick skates that I'm now using just as teaching skates. Since I've done all this work, the blade is currently disconnected from the boot. That means I have to get that blade mounted back on, and this is a chance for me to fix that incorrect mounting that I had for so many years. So I'm going to take you along to my pro shop so you can follow along and see how this process works. I'm back here with Brett at my local pro shop, and he is going to help me with the mounting process. Thanks so much for taking your time out of your day to do this.
You're welcome. So what we're going to do is we're just going to do a temporary mount on the blades, and we're just going to make sure that everything's pretty much aligned to your foot. So we're going to go ahead and do the left blade and the right blade. Now, do you have any pronation issues with your foot?
My right foot, I have some pronation issues.
Okay, yeah. Perfect. So what we'll probably do is we'll make the right boot just go a little bit or move it a little bit inward towards your arch.
Okay.
And we'll go ahead and after we're done, we'll go ahead and test it and see how it goes.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, so we're going to go ahead and mount this boot on the boot stand here. I'm going to get nice and tight on there so that it doesn't jump around on me when I'm trying to mount the blade. Just cinch this down, and then the first step that we're going to do is align the blade. So right there. And then Julia said that she has a little bit of pronation issues, so we're going to move the front of the blade a little bit inward towards the arch of her foot to account for that. So when you're mounting a blade, what you're really looking for is you want to try to get the blade flush with the front outsole of this boot. If someone has a pronation issue, sometimes you can move it slightly inward, but in general for just a straight mount, you want it just flush right there. In the back, you want to get the heel, the blade right down the middle of this, what I call the pinnacle, or pretty much the edge of this outsole right there. So you don't want it off to the side, you want it straight down the middle. I use is pretty much an ice pick. We're going to mark the holes that we're going to be drilling in the boot here. So for temporary mounting, there's always 2 different holes. There's the regular anchor bolts, and then there's the oval temporary mounting holes. So we're going to do the temporary mounting holes, and we'll go from there.
Do you worry about getting too far in and hitting the inside of the skate?
Yes. So for Harlech boots or just a traditional skating boot, you only want to go probably about quarter inch or so in.
Okay.
For Adayas, you want to go all the way through on the boot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we'll go ahead and do this one. You want to make sure you're drilling right up, kind of perpendicular to the boot. And that's it. So we'll go ahead and do the heels now. Now we're ready to mount the blade. So for temporary mounting these blades, you want to have two different types of screws. So this is going to be your long screw, which is for the heel. There's more material in the heel, so you need a longer screw for that. This is going to be the screw for the forefoot. There's less material in the forefoot, so you need a shorter screw for that. And finally, you have your panhead screw, which is going to be flat on the bottom right there. And then you have your tapered screw, which is meant for your anchor screw holes to permanent mount the blade. Those go in the permanent mounting slots. So
I had noticed that some had a domed shape and some had a flat shape, but I didn't realize that that was a specific reason.
Yeah, a lot of times if you put like a panhead in one of the anchor screws, it doesn't get a secure fit, so your blade can move around on you.
Interesting. Wow, I just learned something new.
So I don't like to put the screw all the way in. I like to finish it off with just a standard screwdriver. That way you don't strip the screw out.
After all the work I just did on the soles, we don't want to strip the screws out.
You do not want to do that. Okay. And the last one, and we'll finish everything off with the regular screwdriver after that. Okay. Okay, and that is officially temporary mounted.
So now, once you've done the other one, we go out, we check to make sure it's mounted properly, and you're going to go over that with me, right?
Right, yeah. So
okay.
We're going to do what's called an alignment test. So
okay.
We just need to make sure that you're skating straight on both feet. Okay, so what we're going to do is the alignment test now, and so what I want you to do is take about 2 to 3 powerful strides, and then just go up on one foot. And try not to lean left or right, just go in a straight line and see if your boot's making you go straight or veering off to one side.
So if it's taking me to one side, I should let it take me and just see what that...
Correct, yeah. We want to see, we want the blade to be making you skate straight naturally.
Okay, sounds good.
Cool. All right, the left one looks pretty good. And come back and let's do the same thing.
That's awesome, because I literally have had to compensate for this foot for years, and I didn't realize it till I got my new boots.
Yep. So just moving it in a little bit sometimes makes the world of difference.
Awesome. So now we go ahead and put the rest of the screws in?
Yep, that's it.
Sounds
the
good.
blade doesn't fall off.
Yeah, we don't want that.
Okay, so now that everything's aligned correctly, we're just going to go ahead and put the rest of the screws in. So given that it's a little bit older of a boot, I'm going to go ahead and put all the screws in, but usually I leave like 2 or 3 holes for if blade ever strip or if a screw ever strips, and that way you have another one to keep the blade attached to the boot.
Well, this looks fantastic. Super, super secure. Expert job once again.
Oh,
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm looking forward to teaching in these for many, many hours, and
you were part of that, so thanks.
Yeah, well, I hope they work out for you.
All right. Well, I am just so excited to have these done. The work's done. They're ready for me to be teaching on them for hours and hours and hours. It's been a long process, but totally worth it. Thanks so much for sticking with me throughout this. If you've enjoyed these videos, do give us a thumbs up. And of course, I look forward to reading all your comments below. If you haven't subscribed yet, then hit that subscribe button down below. And until next time, there's a video right there that I think you'll enjoy.